speaker. Big day for one of my customers in County, our first double speaker day. That's exciting. Two ladies, I'm always happy about that. This is Angelique, and she is here with Breaking Chains, Advancing Increase. Nice.
Nailed it.
All right. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. All right. Before I get into what we are, why we are, and how you can assist us, I want to make a connection within this room. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you a story, and I want by the end of it to tell me if you can relate in any way. Okay. And then disregard the first statement. Okay. Young girl. See, I had to disregard that. Young girl. Overactive imagination. The only way that she stood out was either getting in trouble or being one of the class clowns. Didn't have many friends. Didn't get a whole lot of birthday party invitations. Medicated for attention deficit. But this girl was constantly observing everything, okay, and everyone. She knew she was completely different from everyone around her, that lacked the confidence and the outlet to figure out why. So the next easiest thing was to follow the crowd. Okay? Getting in where she fit in, best she could, and never really feeling she belonged to anything. Anybody? Anybody relate to that? Okay. It's really interesting how that's kind of like the prerequisite for being an entrepreneur. Well, that was me. That was definitely me. Right now, we have an epidemic with our youth. Okay, so instead of it being those sprinkles of us in the community, it's actually the majority of them now that are experiencing these issues. Our youth are being programmed at a rate far more concentrated than ever before. They are being they're being put down and neglected by, a lot of times, by people they're told to trust. Okay, they're being medicated and overworked. There is a skyrocketing statistic for youth suicides right now. Okay, and instead of the fad being music and clothing, it's cutting and experimental drugs and teen pregnancies. Okay, we have an epidemic right now. If you want to ignore that there is an epidemic, unfortunately you are part of the problem. We no longer have the option to shelter our kids. Okay. My name is Angelique Racky, and I founded BCAI School of Arts in 2011. We opened our doors in 2012, April, so we are 4 years old now. I'm really excited about that. And this is our website, bcaiarts.org. The BCAI, as she said, stands for Breaking Chains, Advancing Increase. And that will all make sense. We are currently located, Summer Baby, that's actually her baby, in the middle. We are currently located at 107 East Chestnut, which is 2 blocks west of Franklin Park on Chestnut. It is directly behind the BCPA across Locust. It's in their creativity center in room 100. You don't usually hear the music if you just walk into the building. What is BCAI? Okay, we offer arts education, and this is the most important part, an expression platform. An expression platform for everyone, regardless of income or background. Okay, we are open to everyone. Now we have to kind of tell you what I consider to be art. Okay, so this isn't your average art school. I consider art any activity that requires passion so concentrated that it provokes the imagination. Okay? Now that if you really think about it, it's a pretty deep statement, but it's any activity that requires passion so concentrated that it provokes your imagination. This is sports, this is technology, coding. He already left, but coding. And then we can go into dance and being a mother, being a teacher. It requires imagination to progress. Okay. So these are a lot of the questions that I tend to get. Why the arts? Okay. What makes us any different from the rest? And aren't there already dance studios here? Yes, there are dance studios here. We are not a studio. We never have been, never will be. We utilize a studio, we're a school. So the energy of the school is what goes, okay? So we are not just a building. You go into these dance studios, this is not taking anything away, but we're two different entities. They are really focused on building up that craft, building up that art. That's awesome for people that want to build up their art. We also do that. However, that's their primary focus, and that's their objective, etc. We, on the other hand, we train in the arts, but we use the arts to provoke the imagination. The imagination brings us to the purpose and the identity of the individual. These are our two pillars that we base everything off of. We want our students and families to awaken inside themselves the reason that they are here in the first place. Okay? So we do that by provoking their imagination. Your imagination connects to your higher self. Okay? It gets a little deep, told you. The other pillar is unity. We are very, very adamant about not only our students figuring out who they are, but also their connection to the community, how we all connect. And through all of our events, everything that we do, I am constantly trying to figure out how we can unify every race, every culture, every background, every social status. Doesn't matter what your income, your background, and where you came from, single parent background, double parent background, it doesn't matter. Every single person is connected in some way, and we are only going to progress by figuring that out. So these are our two pillars. So as you can see, we're not just a dance studio, it's a school. So anywhere that we are, the school is. Okay. And this is a picture from last summer, but as you can see, when you have a knowledge of who you are, you have freedom of vision. Okay? Freedom of vision is that awakening of the imagination where you start to see where you fit into life. Okay? That becomes unstoppable. That becomes you knowing exactly what you want to go for, and nobody can stop you, period. And even if you feel down, that vision is what wakes you up in the morning. That's what keeps you going. You don't think about suicide, you don't think about giving up because you know that you are significant. Okay. And now we get into how you can help. As you can see, we are still a startup. Technically, we're just into phase 2. So phase 1, it was the foundation. I had to start with what I knew, which was dance. So we started off with different forms of dance, and hip hop and break dance seem to be the ones that just keep going. And so we started with what we knew. Now we are 501c3, so we are now a full-blown nonprofit, which opened a lot of doors for us. We are, like I said, basically a startup. I've never ran a nonprofit before. I've never been on a nonprofit board. I have helped with a lot of nonprofits and a lot of nonprofit events, but this is where we're at right now. So as you can imagine, we need a lot of assistance. Okay, we have. I guess I can bring up the website now, but you actually have this on the these. How you can help. I meant to have a lot more, and we did not get that printed off on accident, but there are no accidents. So, but those are ways that we can. We are still looking for board members. I have one of them right there. His name is Jarrell, and master team. Now, the difference between the board members and the master team: board members have a lot more responsibility, financial responsibility, legal. They help govern. Basically, they're responsible for the organization. The master team are the professionals in my network, like Shannon Music, who owns Fly Design. She's my graphic designer, who they necessarily can't give a time commitment, but they are still extremely valuable to the organization, and they're there for like advice and assistance in their specific area. And then that's the master team. So if you go like, these are all the things that we can help with. Moving forward, we have the Mixed Fuse Evolve event. That's the flyer that you see in front of you. That is our first signature event. Every nonprofit needs a signature event. The logo, the flyer, all done by Shannon. And it is a two-part event. First event is from 3 to 6. It's all on April 16th at the BCAI. April 16th, oh sorry, 3 to 6 is the family event. And there are family projects from around the world. There is culinary fusions from around the world, beverage fusions from around the world, performances from the youth and from other cultures. Excuse me. And this is obviously a way for me to unify the community, as well as showcase who we are as an organization and moving forward how the community can be a part of it. So of course we need volunteers. That's why that's bigger than everything else. We are growing pretty rapidly, and it would help if we had more help in the classroom as backup instructors, so we can have people watching multiple angles of the room in case there's an injury or anything like that. That's very important to me right now. And yeah, moving forward, I don't want to take any time reading this because you guys are all educating me. But that's pretty much it. If there are any questions, I'm sure there are. I'm more than happy to answer.
Do you have on your website, do you have like a schedule of classes available?
You work with all age groups?
I do. Actually, I started young as 3, and they're actually really cute. I think we have that. But we've had a 3-year-old. She's been with me for 3 years now. And so this is our website. This is what it looks like. And the programs. Moving forward, actually, so obviously we're an art school, but I don't want just dance. Moving forward, we have the cultural programs. We also have martial arts. Like going to the dance program, so that's what we have now, all the way up until April. Starting in May, we'll have a culinary program and language experience program. Both programs are very cultural in nature. So the culinary, can't put those 2 words together. The culinary program is the only one that's going to be ran by month. Every month is going to have a different culture represented. So every week you'll learn the dish, you'll learn kitchen safety, and you'll learn everything about that culture that we can fit into that month. So you learn the customs, the traditions, the whys. Like if you're going to high five someone, are they going to shoot you because it doesn't mean something, it means something else than what you think it is. So that's kind of important. Already there. So this is our current schedule. Those are our B-babies. Those are the hip hoppers. And then the younger, or the little bit older, probably 7 to 10, 7 to 11. Master deviation for the technique class. Street funk is the break dancers. Both of their, she has 5, so I get 3 of her kids and 1 of hers. And then there are 2 performance teams. And then the cultural programs that are going to start. So yes, we do have this kind of website. Yes.
When you say it's available to everyone, I'm just curious, like, do you offer like special scholarships for maybe kids that have a harder time affording it? Is that something that you want to do, or I was just curious about?
No, I'm glad you asked that because I forgot to mention that. As I said, we are available to everyone regardless of income. So last August, or July, August, I created a sponsorship program, which in the organization is actually called a discount program, but out from the outside it's a sponsorship program. So say you bring your child to us. You are of limited income, and the program is $40 a month. If you can afford $40, but you can afford $24 a month, cool, you pay your $24, and then we get a sponsor to pick up that $16. Okay, so that's the sponsorship program. If you are on the sponsorship program inside the organization, you are held to requirements. So you must, you have to have a certain amount of volunteer hours during that semester. You need to be on time, show up for attendance. You have to have this very committed approach about you. If someone is believing in you enough to pay for your child, you need to be there. So that's the sponsorship program. We also have, in effect, for the students, We're very big on accountability and like I said, life training. So I make it very, I kind of drill it into the kids that you are responsible for getting you here on time. You're responsible for having everything you need, being ready on time, et cetera, et cetera. You don't get to blame your parents anymore, even though 6-year-olds obviously can't drive, but I need to get that in their head now. So it's really funny when they show up, the little ones, my 5-6-year-olds. Am I late? Am I late? It's so cute. They can, because I make them do wall sits when they're late. But yeah, did that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Have you, the other presenter that was here a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you were here for howdowe.org.
I don't think so.
Oh man, that seems like that would be such a
I
perfect
think I wanted to.
connection for you, because that's what he's focusing on, is doing fundraising and raising capital for nonprofit organizations.
Will you write that down? Thank you. Good to know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was curious, what was your primary goal today in presenting?
In presenting, my issue in the last 4 years, even though we don't do recitals, we do public performances all throughout the semester and stuff like that. We do end of semester shows, but we invite the community to be a part of it. So we're always in the community and we're always out there, but somehow the majority of the community still doesn't know we exist. Okay, so this presentation was very important to me because these kids are extremely important to me. The end result is extremely important to me. So I wanted to make sure that fellow entrepreneurs who get my way of thinking, they get it, they understand that we have a problem on our hands, and they understand that they easily could be part of the solution, can find out about us, understand the value within the school, and either get involved in volunteering or promotion or anything on that list would be great to help. Like I said, one of the priorities right now, we do need a couple more board members, so that's a priority. But I really wanted to get information out about the event and the school, so people get an idea of who we are and why we are. Because the why is very, very important to me. Because like I said, I'm not just training dancers or culinary chefs. I'm training individuals, and I want them to, it's not developing their identity because it's already there. I just want them to cover it. So, and that is where the unification and the power comes from. So I really wanted to get the idea of the school out there to hands of like-minded people. Because when I know, like, and trust people, things happen.
I think you did it.
Good. Any other questions? Okay.
So what can 1 million cups do for you? Last question.
Well, honestly, I really want to fill this event. This event is extremely important, just like this presentation was. This event, I really want to fill it, not necessarily just for, obviously, we need the money for upcoming programs and operations, but I really want, the kids need to know that they're being productive, okay, and that they're just as important as everything else in town. And they're going to be performing. There is a night event for adults 21 and up, so that's going to be really fun. There's a mixology workshop and stuff like that. So I mean, the event is very, very important. So if we can promote the bejesus out of it, use an awesome word, the bejesus out of it, that would be very, 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 very helpful as of right now. And then if you come across any other people that are interested in getting involved in a nonprofit and are very creative, or they're dreamers and executors, like I said, the board members are important. So, event board members.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
Angelique, yeah, hopefully I have your right number. I just texted you his contact information.
Okay, cool.